Codez here. My girl Kasha B is not joining us today. She had her after five, her 5 to 9 thing going on. And so she's not going to be here today, but y'all got me. And I'm really excited. And so one of the things that Kasha talked about to take a look at was re-explaining the why behind the relationship codes, why we talk about temperament so much, and the power of really understanding those temperaments. And so we are actually, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to explain some things about the why we actually use the temperaments and how, when you use it in a very strategic way, you can build so much more when you understand how to use them. Okay. So first, if you actually think you've done a temperament assessment and you happy with the results, but you're not getting the promotions, you're not making more money, you still have disagreements in your in your relationships, you still have fights and arguments, or you're not attracting enough clients, or your team isn't moving as quickly as you would like them to do, they're not as productive as they could be. You may be doing a great job, but you see that if the team accepted some different responsibilities and some different ownerships, they could go so much farther. Your whole team as a sales team could be doing a better job at working with their clients. You are a coach or a consultant, whether you're doing sports or whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're in leadership, and there just appears to be more, but the growth seems to be slow, or you just keep attracting the wrong people and relationships aren't work out, it's really because you don't have an understanding of the personality temperaments. And when you understand the key and the road to those, you will actually build better relationships and get better results. And I ought to know because I've done it over and over and over again, but I actually use it every single day. It's not an exercise where you come in or they bring a trainer in and you find out what yours is and you do it as a team development exercise, and then 2 weeks later things die down and it's back to status quo. It's not where you go to your premarital counselor and you meet with the pastor and you do your 6, 8, 12 week course, and then you're still having the same problems and the same issues. When you understand how to master the tool that I use, and I am very good at teaching it, I use it every single day and I get amazing results. And that's what the relationship codes is about. It is about showing people how to apply it in every situation. And so let me just kind of name off the list of tools you may have experienced, or your company may has done one, or you may have done one online, or you may have took a quick one and you agree with it. Yeah. But then you turn right around and go back to old habits and old ways. It was fun. It was good for a conversation, but you turn right around and went back to the old same way. And that's because you don't really have a full understanding of it. And so I am going to explain, they have the DISC, the Myers-Briggs, the Gallup Strength Finder. You have the Personality Plus by Florence Littauer and a few other ones. You have the Temperament and Character Inventory. You have the Brickman Method. You have the Eccleston Personality Questionnaire. And they all spin off a foundation, and people see a way to use it, so they recreate the names. There's the lion, tiger, beaver, and otter. Then they turn those into birds, the eagle, the parrot, the owl. And they use them after fish. And it's just all different types of fun assessments out there, and they are good, but I have the best. And I have the best because I've done all of those assessments. But when I ran across this particular assessment, it was amazing. And I saw for the first time it being facilitated in a restructuring of an organization. And it was the first time I saw 100% of the people on the same page. I never saw that. When I saw that, I said, I have to have that tool. So I got that tool. I studied that tool, and I tracked over 2,500 people assessments collected over a 6-year period before I went and got certified. And then I added the communication. I added the teaching and learning styles. I added the negotiation. I added the better sales app. And this was all on the foundation. I added the conflict resolution, and I became an elite trainer. And every organization I went into, whether I had a role or not, I was able to do some amazing things. And so let me give you an example. A team with everybody in their particular roles, we were able to build a court-run school in 6 months, and what the state couldn't do in 2 years. Software company, we were able to make the first multi-million-dollar sales, where previously they hadn't made any. The list could go on and on and on and on, but that's not what this is about. This is really beginning to talk about how to use the tool. And so I want to talk about a couple of coaching points on why this temperament thing is so important. It's really coaching point number one is it builds a blueprint for your success. When you understand how your temperament influences every single decision, every reaction, and every connection you make, you take it more seriously, not just as a team exercise, but it is really something that's deeper. It is something that allows you to not put people in a box, but understand how their purpose is and what their operating systems can handle, what their operating systems need support on. And without this particular awareness, your relationships begin to go by the wayside, and you have conflicts that are not necessary. It's my way, it's your way. We argue about this, we don't agree on that, and it's because of really how we're wired. We're wired to operate differently. But when we don't know each other's wiring, we do have those mishaps, those disagreements, those conflicts. And it's very important that when you understand, you can't get mad at a fish for not knowing how to climb a tree like a squirrel. And so mastering the temperament is really helps. It helps you to understand not only what your strengths are, but it helps you to protect against your blind spot. When you have blind spots and you don't know what they are, then you don't really protect those particular blind spots. And you can't win a game if you don't really know the rules you're playing by. And when you don't understand two people in a relationship, when you don't understand how you can fit in an organization and get more money, get raised, get promoted, it's because you don't understand the dynamic and the team dynamics of that organization. And you are far more worth than I'm sure than what an organization is paying you. And later on, we're going to be talking about how to get promoted, how to set yourself up to make more money if you're an entrepreneur, how to get more clients. We're going to talk about that, how to increase your reach and your connection with people. You don't have to have 1 million followers. If you had 500 followers and you were able to close 250 of those followers, half of them, you would do much better than you would uh, if you had 1 million followers. And you couldn't close none of them. And coaching point number 2 is personal relationships really thrive on awareness. Um, Most of the time, we receive love in a different way. We give love in a different way. We resolve conflicts in a different way. And when the time comes and you pressure gets on, we tend to lose how we're wired. And so just understanding that and knowing that there is love is not enough. It has to be the right language that helps make that love last. So love comes and goes, but when you understand the language, that's what makes it last. And you have to speak that language. You can't, we used to call it killing a fly with a hammer. So if you used to hammering all the time, you don't need to kill a fly with a hammer. You can just use a fly swatter. And so we use that analogy a lot to be able to help with that. And then coaching point number 3 is the professional growth. It puts a demand on your self-awareness. Uh, Knowing what you can do and what you can't do, accepting what you can and what you can't do is one thing, but really understanding that leaders, teammates, and entrepreneurs really succeed when they know how each other works better. I had an opportunity to be involved on several different sports teams, and we've done some amazing things, won some championships, and those championship teams operated at a different frequency. You can make the playoffs, uh, but you don't have to win the championship. When you win a championship, you have a different operating system. Everybody understands and covers each other's blind spots. When you have a winning component, you have an honest communication, and no one really gets upset because you have a shortcoming or you can't do something. And it's even received better when you say, hey, I'm not able to block this person. Can you do this? And we can make it. Hey, I'm not able to bring the ball down the court with my left hand 3 times, but I can do 2 power dribbles and then I'm going to give it up. But it's really about being able to admit and communicate your shortcomings or your blind spots. And first, you need to find out what they are. And that's usually the tough part. And so understanding the temperaments and the shortcomings will help with turnovers. It will help with mishaps. It will help with arguments. It will help with disagreements. It will help with your performance. It will help you make a stronger connection with your clients. And just understand that you don't manage people. You manage how they're wired. That's really what it's about. And when you try to handle people based on the way you think or way you feel about something, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. You have to manage people, your teammate, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. You have to manage how they're wired. And that requires that you really become a master of personality temperaments. And then the fourth coaching point is it just makes a better connection. It becomes effortlessly when you do use the temperaments on your job. It becomes sales become effortlessly. Servicing your team becomes effortlessly. Trust building is all really about understanding how to read people that's in front of you. And the temperament really helps to shape your sales. It helps to shape your communication style. It really helps you, uh, uh, your blind spots with certain types of clients or certain types of relationships. And if you are dating or you don't want to date because you're tired of the headache, really what that is you're tired of not knowing how to navigate or deal with someone. And That's really the bottom line of it. And relationships require work. Anything that lives and breathes require maintenance, and it requires work. It's not this magic pill. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but it doesn't work like that. And so you want to make sure that um, when you speak people's temperaments, you skip their resistance. It's real easy if somebody's mad and you tell them, yeah, I will be mad too. People don't get mad and say, no, you're wrong. People usually get in agreement with you and they say, okay, they understand me. It's the same exact way when you get into any type of a dynamic and relationship and you speak the other person's language. They feel like you understand them and you have a better connection. And so we really here at the Relationship Codes will take how to use the temperaments and really master it, how to apply it in every area, from business to personal to family to sales to growing your company as an entrepreneur to being a better leader to learning how to lead a team to taking care of yourself as a leader and as a manager. Those things are super important and you have to stay plugged in. And so what I want you to be able to do is put in the chat. We have some free tools that they're assessment tools, and they will be able to help you get a better understanding of your management style, your sales style, your love style, your conflict style. Just put in their tools and we can begin the process just to get you some free tools. We have courses, we have trainings, we have coaching and all around that. But I always start with some free tools. People like free. But if you really want some coaching, we are experts at what we do here at Relationship Avenues. And if you wish relationships were easier, if you wish communications were smoother, if you wish your clients had a faster connection, it's not magic. It's really all about mastering the temperament. And this is why I use a client assessment for every client that I work with every single time. And we do a really good job, and my clients do a really good job as well with their clients, and there's growth. And so I wanted to be able to just share that with you guys today. And next week, Kasha will be back, and we will be talking about the blue temperament and how they love. Y'all gonna want to check that one out. Kasha's primary temperament is blue, but she has a full color spectrum. So we're gonna be talking about that. And we'll be showing you exactly how to unlock it. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, put your questions in the chat. Uh, any questions you may have. Now, look, I know y'all out there, and I know you have questions because I have people that have, and I've been shocked, but I've had people come up to me and say that they've enjoyed it, that they've learned some things, and then they will ask me questions in person. Look, I don't see you, but I know people log on. I know they listen. Just put your questions in there and I'll make sure that we get them answered so that we can help. No matter how big, no matter how small, we're just here to serve and help you make things better. And just remember, stay tuned, stay blessed, and be safe. And I will see you next week with Kasha B. Other than that,